Pisces. The eyes, right? Bam. How you doing? I'm gonna give you your mid-April proofread. This is Kendrick from Providence Tarot. All of the information that you need is going to be in the description box. Oh, some endings, some things changing for you, transformations in career and work. And you yourself are changing. It's like your career is going to be different after this. It's almost like you're not going back to the ways things have been, you know? It's like more responsibility now that something has changed. And this new responsibility, this ending, is bringing in a change for you that is kind of bigger than you could have orchestrated for yourself, with Pluto being there. It's actually interesting. So your career is transforming, and you are too. Your identity is changing with this. Interesting. Something that you've waited for a long time. Haha. And it's almost like the thought of it was intimidating in some kind of way, just because the Ten of Swords is intimidating. It's an intimidating thought, but it's an intimidating thought that we've been pondering for a long time, but we've been going after something. You know, it's almost kind of like the mental anxiety or the stress that comes from the climb, the battle. But it's like, it's an internal battle. It's a psychological battle, but then it's also a communication too. You know, this is saying, you know, finally your efforts or something like that, right? With also Pluto being, it's like Pluto and the Sun and Gemini. Okay, let's go ahead and lay these cards out. And I know that right now I might have to clarify one, but let's look at the center here. And for you, you know, you have your esoteric ruler. So there's a deeper meaning behind something. And it's like the planet is working in some kind of, in like a different way. And now, you know, your esoteric ruler is actually in the sign of career, right? Which is Capricorn. And Capricorn is actually not 10 houses, but 9 houses from where you are. And that is Pluto being in, like, your goals are changing, like your outlook is changing. You have a stronger outlook or something like that. You know, changes on the horizon for you, definitely with the Ten of Swords being here and the Rebirth card. That's good. Let's see what's going on. Okay, yeah, so the Ace of Wands is here. This is talking about self-confidence, but also a sense of awareness, yeah? Taking a leap of faith. So you're having to believe and trust in yourself, or trust in the beginning of a process, right? The Ace of Wands is like being aware of what you're capable of, right? And what you can do. It also says that you're made for something, because the Ace of Wands says, like, if not you, then who, right? That's what it says to me. And let's see what the other card is. Wow, the Ace of Cups is here next to the Ace of Wands. So that's very positive, you know what I mean? And I know what other card is behind the Ace of Cups, and it's not necessarily a great card, but it's better now because I know that the Ace of Cups is on the other side. So now, let's look and see what the other card is. Because you have 2 aces, so it's talking about new beginnings. And then you have the Ten of Swords, which is talking about, like, there's still talks about something changing. You know, it's like a transitionary energy, transient energy here, right? Some travels coming up too, that's there. But, like, when I say transient, it's like energy is transitioning from one reality into a new reality. And the aces are just really emphasizing that. The Ace of Cups, the Ace of Wands, right? Let go of any emotion that you don't want to identify with. I mean, like, there's some things that are of your reality, but you have to kind of, like, process your emotions too. You know, if that makes sense. Being strong emotionally too. And then Ace of Cups is something that's being actually offered to you. You know, so something is being offered to you that is actually possibly making you happy just because the Ace of Wands is next to the Ace of Cups. And these are two things that fit together as masculine and feminine, right? So there's a sense of balance that's being brought to you, or a sense of pleasure, because balance is ruled by Libra, okay? And, you know, that's we like balance. We like that. Let's see what the third card is. Okay, the Death card is here. So it's saying that something is happening in terms of transformation. Like I said, the Rebirth card is here, which is Pluto. Pluto rules Scorpio. The Death card is Scorpio, right? But this Ace of Wands and this Ace of Cups and the Ten of Swords and the Rebirth card, which is Judgment, which is balance, and the Death card is saying you're leaving something behind, right? But there is a kind of like skeleton of sorts, the frame of something that you're leaving behind, but you're taking something else with you, right? The spirit of something is staying with you. You know what I mean? Where am I at? I'm at like 5:55, as I said that, at 5:55. But, you know, the Death card, Scorpio, it's a 4, so it's talking about establishing another foundation. So the fact that you're leaving something behind, you're doing it so that you can establish a new foundation, or you can establish something else for yourself. Whatever this is, you know, they're saying that something is about to end, right? So that other things can begin. But let's see what's going on. Like, don't let your emotions interfere with what is happening, you know? The Eight of Swords is behind the Ace of Cups. The aces are all mercurial. The Eight of Swords is Gemini, right? So it's like, it's fearing your own thoughts. So it's like, don't let your thoughts get out of control, because it's Jupiter in Gemini. Jupiter is out of control, and Gemini can get out of control, especially with Jupiter there. You know what I mean? So it's like getting your thoughts under control, right? It could be like speaking at a mile a minute, right? It's also kind of like not interfering with, you know, what is being kind of like offered. Like, what am I saying? Don't let your emotions interfere, right? And when I see this card, it's like, see no evil, right? Hear no evil. And it's almost kind of like, you can't necessarily trust everything that you hear. Sometimes you have to see for yourself. And that's what the Eight of Swords is saying. I have to see it for myself. I have to know for myself. When I see it, I'll believe it. I have to see it to believe it. That's what it is. You know what I mean? That's what you're saying to yourself. But then also, like, don't let your, I guess, not your misinterpretation. Well, yeah, don't let your misinterpretation of things lead you to kind of, you know, don't jump to conclusions yet. What's behind the Ace of Wands? The Queen of Pentacles, yeah. So the Ace of Wands is a leap of faith, jumping, you know, doing something, believing in yourself. And the Queen of Pentacles is money. It's establishing, you know, it's staying flexible, right? So there's movement in the career. There's flexibility there in the career. And it also is saying, like, something is being regenerated. Yeah, you're finding a new purpose with something. Just because the Queen of Pentacles is connected to the Three of Pentacles, which is like Mars and Capricorn, it's exalted. So it's like, you are your karma, right? And all of the things and all of the work that you have put into something up until this moment has led you to this opportunity. And sometimes things are kind of like out of your control, right? Which the Death card talks about, things that are out of your control. Wow, it's so crazy what's on the other side of that Death card. Yes, I'm living for it. But, you know, sometimes there is always energy lurking that isn't energy that you have created. It's energy that is kind of like, what do they call? Like dark matter and stuff like that, right? There's certain things that you can't see that are playing out. You know what I mean? And the Queen of Pentacles is asking you to maintain a sense of like ambition, but also stamina and endurance in your career, because it's meant to change and it's meant to evolve, right? Definitely with this Death card, because death and life, you know, it's about the entire experience, okay? But behind the Death card, which the Death card is number 13, which is a 4, is the Four of Wands, which is amazing because the Four of Wands is a full circle experience. You're like, I know what all of this was meant for. This is a happy card. This is Venus being in her 12th house from where she originates in Taurus. And, you know, for you, Taurus is, what? Pisces, Aries, Taurus is your 3rd house, right? But this is like your experience is communicating something to you that you are realizing now. It's like coming from a different place, you know. Full circle moments are what you are feeling. Something makes sense now. This also says that because you have stayed passionate about something, because you maintain a sense of optimism, right? And keep a sense of optimism about this change and this transition or this transformation that is happening, you know, you feel kind of like reinvigorated, right? It's almost like when the barbecue, when people think the barbecue has died or the coals aren't still hot, but they are, you know what I mean? 1111. And the Four of Wands is an 1111 card. So it's saying the coals are still hot. Something is still burning. There's still passion about something. You know what I mean? There's a sense of pride about oneself too, because you have been able to withstand, endure the experience. You know, there's a sense of like laurel here, if that makes sense. Lauren could be a name. Lawrence could be a name. Yeah. And it's feeling, you know, at the top of your game in some kind of way with the Four of Wands being here, you know. And it's establishing a sense of foundation, a new foundation with oneself, establishing, you know, pride within oneself again, reestablished pride, that kind of thing. You just have to stop talking yourself into and talking yourself out of, right? If that makes sense. Don't drive yourself crazy. Don't obsess over, you know, opinions that aren't, you know, necessarily, I don't know, don't obsess about opinions that you don't identify with, if that makes any sense. Don't be discouraged, right, by your thoughts. This could also be you being a little bit of a cynic here with the Eight of Swords, because the Eight of Swords is connected to the Strength card, right, which is instinct and logic, okay? But then also it could be, you know, logic over fear, and also it is mental strength, right? So emotional strength with the Ace of Cups and mental strength with the Eight of Swords. So stay mentally strong here, and maintain a sense of control about you. Try to control yourself, control your hands, right? Be careful with objects, be careful with sharp objects. Be careful that you don't say something that could be off-putting to others, right? That kind of thing, okay? I'm just going to go ahead and leave it at that. Like, share, and subscribe. You're definitely going through a transformation, which is good. Follow me on Instagram. Subscribe to me on YouTube. Follow my personal account. It's NYC Kendrick. Now, if you have 0 posts or some funny business going on, you will be blocked. That's just what I do. Okay. Pluto. Anyway, I love y'all. Bye, Pisces. Have a great weekend, okay? Look, I'm wearing your color.